Hi, Orange Girl here with another scrapbooking process video for you. I am working with a file from the Cut Shop today. The file is Untamed Heart, and there you see it there. I am also working with a Clique Kit, the 2018 November Clique Kit called Seneca Falls. So I started out with this photograph. I found this photograph in Facebook, and it's from 2012, and I realized I had not scrapped it yet. So I printed it out. I think it's about a 3x4. It's just a little bit smaller than 3x4. And I grabbed a bunch of items from the kit. So right now I'm using the 6x6 paper pad by Amy Tangerine. It's from the Traveler's Notebook kit, I believe. Also, Seneca Falls, also November 2018. And I just like using it to back cut files because the patterns are just a little bit smaller. And so I'm using the little triangle that, it's one of the triangles that cut out of this cut when I used it on my Silhouette Studio or Silhouette Cameo. And when I cut it out, I just saved one of those and went ahead and used that as a little bit of a template. And I tried to cut a little bit bigger. Some of them I didn't cut big enough, but I'll show you how I fix that. I cut them big enough to fit in the hole, but not enough to glue them down. So you'll see here in a second how I fixed that. So I also pulled off camera before I got started. I pulled a few things out of the ephemera pack that were pink and black and white and kind of the aqua color because I was thinking that I would go with those colors primarily, but I end up adding a lot of pretty much all of the colors that are in the kit. I end up adding to my background here using these little bits. But most of what I add as far as embellishments go fit in that color scheme. So as I'm working through this, I'm just going through the paper pad and finding papers that I want to use. If they have to have a specific orientation, like the cameras there or the plants that are over on the left, then I'm trying to carefully cut them the way that I think that I want them to be. And then the other ones are pretty, I can use them pretty much they're pretty flexible. I can use them in any way. And then that's what I ended up coming up with. So that is all of them glued down. Now all I have left to do is a few little embellishments because there's so much going on in the background. I decided that I would just put a couple of different clusters, one there on the left at the bottom below the photograph, excuse me, and then one in the upper right corner. So you can kind of see I've pulled, so that unforgettable is meant to be a journal spot, and I'm using it as a layer behind my photo. And it came from the ephemera pack. And then also below my photo is another piece there that is, that came in the kit as well, the little tab there's a whole bunch of little black tabs that I think are DIY from American Crafts, and I put one of the little phrase stickers that come, it's an Amy Tangerine phrase sticker. You can see those there on the right of my layout there. I use quite a few of those actually on my layout for pops of color and just for added words that kind of talk a little bit about what my whole layout is about. So the layout is about my daughter. This was taken in 2012, so this was quite a few years ago, and it was August. It was right before her birthday, and she would have been almost 3, and she had gotten into my makeup and really, really, really wanted to put it on. And you can imagine she was 3 and almost 3, and so it was very much something that she wanted to do on her own. And so I stepped back and took a photograph. What I'm doing here is I'm going to add a little bit of thread into that die cut that is a banner because it looks kind of like a tag. So I'm going to add a little bit in there, and I'm choosing a lot of aqua because I wanted my layout to mainly be aqua and pink with black and white. And so most of the little embellishments that I do add are that. Obviously, I'm using lots of colors, but anyway, so my idea at this point is I'm going to use, I was thinking I would use that little tag right there to put my title on, and I end up using the unforgettable as part of my title that's above my picture, and then I use the tag and I just put black letters on it that say you. You'll see me do that in a second. So I popped up my photo and I put a little bit of tissue paper behind it, and then I went ahead and popped up this piece of ephemera here so that it is even with my photo. And now I'm just going to add the word you over it. So you can see that I created a cluster in the bottom left using puffy stickers that come in the kit. And then even puffier, I don't really know what they're called, but they're like 3-dimensional hearts that you can get in the Clique Kit store. It doesn't come in the actual kits though, but it's from the Amy Tangerine Shine On collection. I'm going to add a few more little phrases here. I've also added my journaling. So off camera, I typed up my journaling and then cut it into strips. It says, "You are simply a joy. It was super important that you put on makeup just like mommy and all by yourself." So that's my journaling. That little piece right there that you just saw me messing with, that little triangle, was just a little too small. It fits in the hole, but it doesn't fit to glue on to the white of the cut file very well. And so I had a couple of them that were pretty close. So I ended up deciding to go ahead and glue the whole thing down onto an entire 12 by 12 page. A lot of times I cut out the middle of my 12 by 12 pages because I want to save it in case I want to use it for something else. I saved the center, but in this case I just ended up gluing the whole thing down, or I will here end up gluing the whole thing down because to a 12 by 12 because it needed a little bit more reinforcements to make it stay together. So you'll see me do that in a second. So right now, really, my layout is pretty much done. I'm just adding some of my journaling off camera here in a few minutes. I am going to go ahead and I'm trying to think what I just did off camera. I'm not really sure. Oh, I've glued everything kind of to itself. And then next I am going to, off camera, I'm going to do some stitching with my machine. I'm going to machine stitch down the phrase stickers and then all the way around the whole thing. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue here. And then I'm going to stitch around the whole thing, around the edge. And then I'm also going to stitch each of those little, like what I'm messing with right there. Each of those, I stitched those down, partly so they would stick better, but mostly, honestly, because I wanted the look of it. I like the texture of it. So now I'm ready to kind of commit and glue the rest of this down. All I have left to add here is I think I end up adding, yeah, there it is. I add some kind of light blue aqua kind of thread. I add it underneath those super puffy hearts there, that pink one that I have there, and then there's a black one that's going to go on the upper left. And then I also add some kind of behind my photo, but where the exclusive flare piece from the kit goes. And I'll show you that here in a second. So once I get that glued down, I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I think I am. So I don't know how you guys keep your memories. I mean, obviously we're memory keepers, and so many people actually don't even journal on their layouts, and they look at it as more of an art. And I kind of do both. It's really important for me to tell the story, and one of the ways that I kind of keep the story alive is through Facebook. And oftentimes we maintain a Facebook page that isn't my name. and it has a lot of our daughter's memories on it. And so I was looking through that page and trying to find a photograph that I hadn't scrapped yet that I really wanted to. And oftentimes when I do that, I will find something that is a real treasure. And I feel like this is one of those because she really in she this day I remember it clear as day, and it was 6 years ago. She was very much in that toddler let me do it myself stage, and yet she really genuinely just wanted to be like mommy, and it was so cute. And I don't know why I never scrapped it. Probably there were just a bunch of photos at the time that I did scrap, and so this one just didn't make the immediate cuts. But what I like about having all those photos on Instagram or Facebook is that oftentimes I type a little something with it, and that holds that memory there so that when I am able to do some journaling on my layout, I know what to write or I have those memories there. So I toyed with the idea of putting a little heart in that center spot, and then I end up not doing that. Off camera, right where I'm messing right there, I end up taking that off and putting the date there. Um, don't forget to date stamp. Don't forget to stamp your layouts. I choose to use the date that the photograph was taken in most cases. So here are the close-ups. You can see some of my stitching, that's the exclusive flare, and you can see the cut file is gorgeous, and you can see some of those little details. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and I will see you soon.